Recording. Okay, so welcome to this session. I'm going to go through how to do the Australian Tourism Data Warehouse listing. So basically, all you need to do is you'll log into atdw.com.au. Up the top here, you can either register if you don't already have a listing, or you can log in. Now, I've already got my own login, so I will log in as myself, and then I'll show you how to exactly do the listing. We'll go through the different types of listings that you can have, adding all the information that you need to add in, including photos, and booking URLs, all that sort of stuff, and looking at things like if you're in accommodation, what type of rooms you need to add, and pricing, that type of thing. What you can add all those sorts of things in as well. So I'll log in and we'll make a start. Nobody's got any questions yet? Great. I'll just move this down the bottom a little bit. Okay, so I've already got one listing. I actually need to renew it today because it expires today, so that's one of my jobs that I've got to do today. But you'll get a blank screen when you first log in, and all you need to do is add a new listing. So this is what I'm going to do today, is I'm going to add a new listing. What I'm going to do is I've made up a dummy listing that I'll run through and show you exactly how to add it. But here you can see the types of categories that you can choose. You can be an accommodation, you can be an attraction, an event, food and drink, general service, a hire company, tour. So Deb, that's the one that Colin will need to do, is hire, a tour, and also transport. So some of you might, some people might think that, well, I actually have got a couple of things. I do accommodation and I might also do food and drinks. Anne-Marie, you're in that category. So what you're going to do, you'll find, is you'll need to do two listings, one for your accommodation and one for your food and drink. You also might have general service, like you might have a, say the IGA, for instance. They might want to think about doing general service, or even petrol stations, they come under general service. So it covers quite a lot of different types of businesses. So if you want to have, if you've got those different types, then make sure that you're adding more listings for each one of those. You don't need to log in every time, like you just want to have one login and you're creating all of these categories, all these listings for each different type of category. Why we do this is because if distributors are looking for a particular type of product, they might be looking for accommodation at, say, Snellings Beach. They can search for accommodation at Snellings Beach and all the accommodation options at Snellings Beach will come up. They might be looking for a petrol station, all the petrol stations on Kangaroo Island, and all the petrol stations will come up. So it just helps them capture all of the information correctly. Make sure. When your listing will be live for 12 months, at the 12-month stage, you get an email to say that your listing has expired and that you need to renew it. So I've received an email just recently saying my listing's about to expire. You basically just need to re-log in, go through everything again. It'll tell you what they want you to update and you'll be fine to go again for another 12 months. All right, so what I have created is I'm going to create a food and drink listing. And I am going to, basically, it'll step you through here so that I've got 7 mandatory steps to list. And down at each page, at the bottom of each page, it will have a next step button. So basically you fill in the boxes and you click next step. So I am going to just edit my listing. What is the name of my establishment? I'll put it there. So I've actually produced mine in a Word document and I've typed it all out here. Ideally, what you're putting in here will be similar to everything else that you've got everywhere else. So if you've got a website, you've got a Facebook page, you want to be putting the same sorts of information in here as you've got everywhere else. It replicates everything, and that also helps Google to rank you. So if you've got a Google My Business listing and you've got your website and you've got your Facebook and you've got TripAdvisor and you've also got ATDW, then if everything is the same, everyone's getting the same sort of information everywhere. So what I have done is I've also made my description. So I've put here with a focus on fresh local kangaroo produce, cafe on the coast, provides simple but amazing fare, blah, 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 blah. That's what I've written. So basically I'll just copy and paste that into how I describe my business. It does give you a word count. Now, just a word of warning here. This description does pull out a short description also that you don't actually get to see. It's something that sits in the background and it will pull out the first 25 words. So I think it comes down, you just need to be reminded that the first 25 words will pull into that short description. So whatever you're doing, just be wary of that first sentence that you write, and that will also be used by others elsewhere on other websites. So just be mindful of that one. Right, so I'll keep going down. My ABN, I don't have an alternate name, so this is my next step. I click on next step. Right, and it's going to ask me what type of food or drink is best describes my establishment. So I've got a bar and I've got a restaurant and a cafe. And basically, you're stepping through. What's my address? I might define another address. I'm going to be at Snellings Beach. Not in Queensland either. What's the road there? I'm going to be North Coast. I'll be in Wazanga. Right, that'll do. And it will put me on a drop pin. Now, if the drop pin isn't correct, you could change it. You just click it and drag it, and I might be over here. I'm going to be right there. You can zoom right in to make sure that you're in the right spot. So that's where I'm going to be. I'm not going to bother about changing it. Say I'll just put my postal same as physical address and click next step. So contacts, what number should your customers contact you on? So don't put in your private mobile phone number if you don't want your customers to see it. So I'll just put in my number, 03557. And what email should they contact me on? So I'm just going to put in megan@tourkangarooisland.com.au. Now, if you don't have an email address, that's no big deal, and I can't spell my name right. No, that's no big deal. Don't put stuff in here if you don't have one. So I don't have a website URL for this product, and I also don't have a booking URL. So because this is a cafe, I don't really have one. So that's fine. You don't have to put stuff in if you don't have it. So click next step. Accessibility. Now, some of this stuff is quite important. Accessibility is becoming a larger industry issue, and it's quite a large market that we haven't quite captured very well here on Kangaroo Island, is that people with a disability and that need access. So make sure that you've got this correct. I actively welcome people with access needs, or you don't cater for people with access or disabled access available, and contact me for details. So then I can come down here and I can select other things about general access. I might employ people with a disability. I train staff with disability awareness. There's lots of things that you can select here. I cater for people who are blind and have vision loss. So there's lots of things. It will flick out more stuff as you select it. It will create more. So look at that. So I cater for people who've got an allergy or intolerance. So you need to read all of them to make sure that you're selecting what is correct for you in particular. Okay, so then I clicked next step. So this is pretty easy. Now, the tricky bit, images. So over here, you've got a guidance panel, this bit here. The trickiest bit that you'll find is finding photos with a minimum photo size of 2048 by 1536 pixels, which is quite a large image. Yes, you can take photos with your phones, but make sure that you're taking them in the highest resolution that you possibly can. If you are finding that you need images and you're not happy with what you can take yourself, perhaps let me know, because we've got a bit of a list being developed in terms of members that need perhaps just maybe 10 photos, particularly for this process and also for a few other things that they're doing, and working out what they're missing. We've got photographers that will come around and do quite good, cheaper deals to do groups of 10 photos. We did it about 18 months ago. We did it. I think they were charging about $500 to do like a 10 image package with some professional photographers. We're getting like groups of 10 to 15 businesses together to do that. So if you're interested in doing that, let me know and I can add you to the list, and then we can talk offline after this. But basically, to upload the image, you just click to upload. It'll take you to your computer. So now I've picked out some images, and I just wanted to show you how this works. So I've just picked out a couple of images. If the image is sized correctly, then it will come up and it will load in exactly like this. Always put in a caption, beach shot at Snelling's Beach, something like that, and always put in an alt text. It's good for SEO on this website, and it also tells people exactly what it is. So Snelling's Beach. Save a photo. So if I wanted to add in more photos after this, I can still upload more. The photo will come to the bottom. Click to upload more. Now, if it's not the right size, you'll get this error, and you'll know that it's not the right size. So if you've got a photo that you want to use and it's not the right size, you can fix it, don't worry. There is a couple of image resizing stuff that you can use. One is called, so if you use Windows as a desktop, then there's an app called Image Resizer for Windows 10. I'll go in here, I'll just open the browser and I'll show you what it looks like. Image Resizer for Windows 10. There it is. I should have had this open, sorry. It's a Microsoft product. So basically it's just an app that you would just download onto your computer. Basically it's for free. I resized a couple of images for this. I resized these images that I had in my thing. So I will show you how they worked. So I downloaded this one originally, and then I put it through that Windows 10 resizer, and it came out with this one that comes out to the right size. So you can do it. If you don't use Windows, I'm on a Mac at the moment. Mac, you can resize your images through your previewer. So there's an easier way to do that. If you want some help to do that, just let me know. Getting images. So if you don't have your own images, have a look at the SATC Media Gallery. There's a free media gallery with SATC, and this is where I pretty much got all these photos at the moment. I'll just put in drink in this one so that we've got it. And I'll save that. Oh, I've got to put in drink here. It won't let me otherwise. Photo error says reducing righto. Okay, so it won't let me do it. I'll just delete that one so that I can upload. I can show you that upload. So yeah, look at the SATC Media Gallery, and that is, I'll bring that up, SATC Media Gallery. So it's media.southaustralia.com, and basically you register, and you can they'll send you a login, and you'll have access to free images. You just need to, they like you to tell them what you're doing with the images. So if you just tell them that you're doing it for some digital, ATW listing or whatever it is, what I normally do is I normally just filter Kangaroo Island, and it should bring up a whole lot of Kangaroo Island images. You can then also filter by food and beverages, and you might want to use some specific images that might suit your business. But have a look in there too, because sometimes there's some good images in there that you can use. Also, the other place to have a look for images, free images, is the Seasonal Kangaroo Island portal through the Authentic Kangaroo Island website. So if you have a look at, I'm bring it up here, Authentic Kangaroo Island. There they are. AuthenticKangarooIsland.com.au. There is a, where is it? Portal. I'll find it in a second. Sorry. Membership, news, events. Maybe it's down the bottom. Oh, it's down the bottom here. That's right. I have it hidden. Seasonal Kangaroo Island is. And basically, you register to access here. If you've already got a login, it'll ask you for your. I'm already a user, so I can log in. So if you're not, register, and then you can log in and get some other free. You can download whatever size you want, basically large, medium, small size images. Yes. Now there is an SATC style guide for images, and it shows you a style of the type of image that they like you to use. And I'll just go there, satc.com.au. It gives you really good that is not it. Sorry, I should have had this up before. I can't see. Tourism. Right. Tourism, I should have known that. So in here, they have lots of tools and resources, and there is brand resources, a style guide. So it gives you the DNA of what visually they're looking for. Now it's just going to download. So I'm going to grab that out in a second. Deb, you want to know if SATC views? Yes, you do. If the photographer has, in the SATC one, if the photographer has, some images are you don't need to, and each individual image will tell you what you want, what you need to do. The Authentic Kangaroo Island one, you don't need to attribute the image to anyone, because Authentic Kangaroo Island, the brand, they purchase all those images outright. So that should be fine. Tom, you're good now. You can hear? Yes, can hear you now. Good. All right. So this is the brand style guide. This gives you a good indication of what types and style of images they're looking for. So stuff that raises questions, intriguing, unexpected, curious, artistic, editorial, those sort of things. You sort of get the feel of what they're looking for. Secondary type images are answers, questions. I can send this to you as a PDF after this. So if you would like this, let me know, or otherwise you can go to the SATC website and download this yourself. What they're not looking for is this sort of stuff. Posed, cheesy, contrived, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, mate, thumbs up, beauty. So looking straight into the camera, blurry, looking like doesn't give you a great sense of place. So make sure that the images that you're using for this gives you that great sense of your place and who you are. And so if you think you have problems capturing this type of stuff, then do let me know about the photographer thing. I can put you on the list to get in contact with about adding you to that list, and we'll go out and have a look at some images. So just some examples here. So this is for wildlife in the wild, types of examples that they like. The accommodation one, how they like it to look. Interiors, outdoor experiences. Now this does become quite important. You would have seen the Snellings at Lifetime, that image being used quite a lot recently. This does become quite important, especially when SATC decide to start running some campaigns, which they will be doing in the new year for Kangaroo Island, leading up to winter. So if operators have great images and great story in their listing, then you're more than likely to get featured in that in those campaigns. So yes, it is really important to have great images and the description of the story. So that gives you a bit of gives you some insight into that. Now, so back to our listing. So I've got one photo in there. You have to have a minimum of one photo. And this one doesn't really give me a great sense of place of my location. I haven't got any food shots. I haven't got anything else. So the more photos that you have, the better. So we'll go to the next step though. So make sure if you can, so you've got 10 different videos here that you can link. Again, you've got the guidance here. So if you've got a good quality video, post to your YouTube or your Vimeo URL. So if you've got your video hosted offsite somewhere, then you can put your video URL. I don't have one, so I don't need to do it. So I'm just going to skip to the next step. So anything you don't have, you can just skip. My opening hours, don't want to specify, but I do have opening hours. I don't want to specify it in here because I don't think I really need to. So I'll just skip. Meal service, my establishment serves the following meals. I'm going to do breakfast, I'm going to do lunch, I'm not going to do late night or dinner. My prices are between 20 and 30 bucks. Click next step. So for any of you guys that are, the same sort of thing will happen for any different type of product. So whether this is a food and a drink listing, if you're a tour or a transport or an accommodation, it will step you through all of the things that you need to select. So what types of cuisine does my establishment serve? Australian. I'm just going to go with that because that's pretty much tells me. But I could do hamburgers. I can be gluten-free. Let's just have a look. Oh, I've got a gift. Great. I can do seafood. So there's lots of different things there that you can. I might even do yum cha. Yes, I'd be the only Kangaroo Island place doing yum cha. Right, next step. My main menu URL. So if I have a website that hosts where my menu might be on my website, I can link to that. I don't have one at the moment, so I can skip. So if you don't have this and you go back and I go, right, okay, now I need a website. Once you've got all those things built, you can come back into your listing and you can change any of the details that you need to. I'm going to be licensed, so I'm not going to allow my guests to bring liquor in. Next step. So down the side here, you'll see this orange bar and it will show you how many things you've got to step through. I'll offer free Wi-Fi, facilities that are available. I'm going to have outdoor, I've got a car park, I'm non-smoking, and I'm going to do live music. So just select the things that you're going to, so all this stuff will help when businesses are trying, or distributors are trying to find you. This will all these things that you're selecting will help them find you online in the database. What have I got in membership? I don't have any of those, so I'm going to skip. And what other accreditations? I might be I don't think I have any of them, so I don't need to select anything. As you're going along, up here the bar will tell you I've got 10 optional steps to optimise my listing. So I can click on that and it will tell me, I haven't put anything about website, social, opening hours, memberships, phone. So I can go back to that and go, yep, I haven't put in my social accounts. So, which is this one. So I've got a Facebook account, put in your Facebook link. I do Instagram, I put in my Instagram account. And I've got TripAdvisor, I'll put in that. I might be doing Weibo or WeChat, I'm going to put in that. And I've also got maybe a YouTube channel, so I'm going to put in what my YouTube channel is. So just put in all those things and go to the next step. And there we go. So now I've got back to the beginning, got all those things in, and it will bring me up everything just on the page. So I can scroll down the page and just see whether I've got everything set. So I didn't put in my URL, didn't put in the URL. I didn't do that licensing. That licensing doesn't look right. So you can go back, click on it and go, no license available. Oh, so that's not right. So yes, guests can bring their own wine. Maybe I'll do that. And then I'll skip right through. So I've done all the rest of it. Right. Okay, I'm going to get right to the end and that's it. Oh, Deb, you wanted to know about hashtag. What was your question? With your business name, if you are keen to get people to start hashtagging you, yes. So Deb's question was under this social accounts, there's a hashtag section there. You can put in what your hashtag, so I could put in hashtag authentic Kangaroo Island, authentic KI, Kangaroo Island. You can add, and I think you can add more if you wanted to. I think, no, I don't think you can. They only give you 2 options. So yes, put in your hashtags. Everything is a bonus. So you'll get everything on the one page. You can have a read of it, make sure that it looks like you want it to look. And then once you're good to go, like once you think you've got everything done, then come up to the top and you send for review. Now, once you've sent for review, you can't then go back into it today and try and edit it again, because it sends it to the staff at SATC to authorise and then to list it. So you haven't got your listing live until SATC have actually approved it. They may not approve your listing. Don't be scared. It's happened to me. And they will send you back some information on what they need you to do to improve your listing as well. So they might come back and say, oh, your images aren't appropriate, or we really need to put in your operating hours, or this is not right. So they'll tell you what is wrong. So click on your send for review and your listing has been sent for review to another, to SATC. Now, at this stage, if I needed to add another listing, you just click on add another listing. So I'll go through the hire one. So hire companies must provide products or services hired for a specific period of time to be used or operated by the leisure tourist, or a tour. Eligible tour operators must offer regularly organised tours with a leisure tourism focus, organised by experienced guides. So Tom, you're probably that. Deb, you're probably this one, the hire, or you could be transport. So pretty much exactly the same. You've got a name, your description, your ABN, an alternative name if you need it. You click on next step, and you don't have to fill out anything to get to the next screen either. So, so we can go down here and go, I'm going to be a minibus or a coach. So you can see here, you can be listing lots of different types of things. Click on next step, and it will pretty much be exactly the same. There'll be a couple of little different variations to both. to certain types of listings, but you'll find that it will be pretty much the same. Now, I'm going to just go back to my listings. And so I've got my cafe on the coast that is pending with QA for review. I've got that drafted one there that I didn't finish. So you can see here then if you needed to have more than one listing type, then it would sit all on your one login and you would be able to edit as you need to with each different type of one. So I'll just show you the accommodation. Anne-Marie, this one will be important for you. What's important in here is your property, so your accommodation types. So in here, you've got the ability to add accommodation types. So if I had 4 little apartments and 1 house that I wanted to rent, you can add your accommodation types in here. So I want to have my apartments, and so it would then list apartments as a sub, and you can put in specific detail just about those apartments. And then I'm going to add another one, which might be a house, so, or a cottage, a holiday house, or I might make it a cottage actually. So all of a sudden I've got apartments here and I've got cottages here. So just make sure that you're listing exactly the type of accommodation that you've got. Don't just do one accommodation list here and not list the types of accommodation that you've got on your property. All right. Does anybody have any questions? I'll take questions now if anybody has any questions. Do you want me to type away? Or if everybody's happy, then we can finish up, or let me know if you've got anything that you need from me. I'll give you a couple of minutes while I have a sip of my coffee. I think everybody seems like they're good. Everyone must be good, are they? Oh, no, Tom. I missed the first few minutes. Tom, I've actually recorded this, but you probably, it's not hard. Basically we went through the first bit of how to get there, getting onto the website, which is atdw.com.au. Then you'll need to register for a login, and then it will basically step you through how to get through it. If you need help from me, then just give me a call and I can help you step through it. So there's a big submit button at the end when happy with all of your content. Yes, Deb. So this send for review is what you need to send. Click when you've got everything set, and then it will send it off. You will then receive an email back when SATC have reviewed it and said, oh, your listing is live and you're happy to go. So, and it will be live. I normally, once a week, I normally check everybody's listings to see where they're up to. And once I can see that you're either live or not, then I'll get you onto the website so that everything's cool. So Tom, you're all good. Deb, you're all good. Anne-Marie, I haven't heard from you. Are you all okay? I'm all good. Excellent. All right. Well, that went for about 40 minutes, which is exactly what I said it would go for. Even less, 39 minutes. All right, so if you've got any more, I'll end the chat group. If you've got any more questions, don't hesitate to give me a call. You've got my number, and I can talk everyone through it, okay? You all have a good day, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye.